Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Tonight we're going to see how we can actually take back up of the Terraria world. I've earlier created a video where I showed you how to actually install Terraria in a Kubernetes cluster, and let us just quickly look at the deployment descriptor in my Terraria folder that I have right here. It's quite easy when you know. Of course, you have to open up the direct TCP communication, so you can communicate directly with TCP and not just with HTTP. But I created another video with that. So, and I think some of it is actually, no, that was not it. Let me just show the deployment descriptor. So I have this generic script where I can actually have the multiple Terraria servers at the same time. That's why I have this variable right here. It's a Helm tree script, and yeah, and then I choose a namespace where I want to place my Terraria. And a site name, and the site name is usually set from a configuration file. Let me just show that. So we have a site name right there. And then we have under deployment right here. Then we have this image right here. It's an awesome image from Raisia, and then /Terraria. You can get it from Docker Hub, and just get the latest one right here. You actually don't need a UDP. That was an error from me having this in the deployment description. The deployment.yaml file for the Kubernetes cluster, but you need this part right here. You need this container port right here, and you need to forward that. You need to go in and manually forward that TCP port in your Nginx configuration, in your Nginx ingress configuration. And I have already created a video about that, so I'll not tell you how to do that again. I'll just say watch the other Terraria video. If you cannot access your Terraria server directly on the ports from outside, then just follow the other video that I made regarding Terraria. I have this cool thing that I've chosen latest right here, and then I've chosen image pull policy. This means that every time I restart my deployment, then the Kubernetes will try to pull the latest Terraria. And that means that if there are updates, then those will automatically be picked up there. I have this label up here, as you probably can see. I have a restart 1. This is actually a kind of a trick that I use. So when I apply or upgrade my Helm tree script, my chart installation, my release, then when I do that, then Kubernetes can actually see, okay, there's a change here in this one right here. So if I write true instead, then I run my Helm tree upgrade -- install, and then the whole chart, then Kubernetes will actually see, okay, some metadata has changed. So let me just restart all of the pods also. So that is how I actually get my pods restarted. And then because of the image pull policy is always, then I checked it there twice. That's not good. Let me just clean some of this up right here. Because I have this image pull policy right here, always, then it will actually pull the latest and greatest Terraria, and then I will actually have my server updated after that when it spins up again. But that's not what I want to show. So that was just I just want to show the deployment, so you remember which deployment we were actually talking about. This is the service. Here we have a service TCP port 7777, and the UDP we do not need that, so I'll delete that. Yeah, so that is my server that we have right there. And I think one of these services are also redundant actually. But what is actually important is that this service points to the right selector right here. That is important. So now let me show you the backup script. That's actually what I want to show you. It's quite easy with Terraria to take backup of the world. It is if you saw my Minecraft backup world video, then you saw it was actually a little bit complex. We had to copy something inside the Docker pod, and then we have to run that inside there. We do not need to do that with Terraria, because with the Terraria it has one file that it updates all the time. So we do not need to zip something first and to pack something together. We can just copy the WLD file, the world file, to localhost, and then we're actually happy. First of all, I'm going to fetch the pod name for Terraria. Okay, actually, first of all, I'll go to Kubernetes Terraria just to make sure that I'm inside the right namespace, and minus namespace Terraria. I'll just add this because I can see it was a little bit fast that I just assumed that from the script it actually assumes that we are already inside the Terraria namespace, but we cannot expect that. Maybe I will be inside some other namespace. I have multiple namespaces in my cluster, so I'm changing namespace to that one, and then I am fetching the pod name with this command right here, kubectl. That means get pods, and then -l means that we are filtering on label. That means we are looking for app equal to Terraria, and then right now my Terraria instance is named 2022, and then 03. That's because that's the last time where I actually created a new server. I should be a bit more. I should use my imagination with the naming instead of just having a name like that. But that's okay. And then we write this minus namespace because then we're inside Terraria, and then I manipulate the output by picking up something from the JSON path. This means take something from the JSON path. Don't just give us all of it. Give us a small part of the JSON path and go for items 0. That means the first item that is returned. Give us metadata and give us the name, and that is exactly the pod name we will get when we run this right here. And I can actually run it by hand first. So I'll go to my WSL prompt right here. kubectl, let's see what happens. And here we can see I have this pod running right here, so that is a pod name. Then this variable would then be set to that pod name right down, and I'll print it out, or echo it out, so I know what's actually going on. And then I will copy the world right here. So the world right here, right now, is actually named 2022-03. That is a world file, and I have a this is actually persistent, so that's a persistence claim that matches, I think, this folder right here. And this means that every time I spin up a new pod, then my world file, I don't have to inject my world file again, because it is actually already stored on it's already persisted to a drive in my cluster. Then I write something out right here, file to copy, and then file name. This is because this is the file name that was generated right here. And then the destination. In the destination, I choose to add the current date in the format year, month, and day. And then that is the destination, local destination. And then we copy the file name to the local destination. This means I will actually I'm creating a new folder named files actually, and it will do that automatically if you use the kubectl command. I have created an alias from k to kubectl, and that's why I just write k right here to make it a bit easier. So then another thing, how do I start this program? I've actually created this package.json file right here where I have a script named backup Terraria. And then I can run that, and then we can actually see what is going on. So I'll find my npm scripts I'm using this code right here, so I can find my npm scripts in the bottom right here. It's our package. If you cannot find it, then go to view. First of all, if you can't find it, it might be because you have not opened up a package.json file first. So double click on the package.json file so it's open. Then you can press view, and then you can press open view, and then you can search for npm scripts like this, and then enter. Then you will get this in the bottom left side right here. And then you can find the script, which is right here. And then I have to use the JavaScript debugger for some weird reason. Permission denied. And why is that? That is because I need to give execution rights to that file right there. So I'll just do that like that, and then we try again. That was quite fast, and that is because the Terraria files, they're actually not that big. Let us press refresh. Here we get the files, and here we have the file. Okay, cool. Then we say open the reveal in File Explorer. Then we can see it right here. Then we can see that it's only like 3 megabytes or something like that. That's because it's a small world that I started up there. So there's not that much information actually inside the world. It's just this part right here. Of course, you should also maybe take backup of your characters, the persons that the characters that you play. Those will not be backed up by this. But then I have this world file, and of course, the way to test this world file is to place it in the Terraria local folder on your local machine, and then you can try to spin up a local world based on this WLD file, and then see that it actually works. I already have done that. You need to trust me on this, that it actually works. But of course, you should always to test your backups, and then you should, after this, now you should actually place it on some safe storage, maybe in the clouds, Google Cloud, Amazon, Asia, etc., maybe DigitalOcean. Yeah, so that is actually the task I actually consider done right now. And of course, when you do this, of course, try it out first in your local Terraria. You can just Google for the location for where your Terraria folder is located on your system. If you use Windows, then it's in the users folder somewhere under updates or someplace. But I actually don't remember. But it's you just Google, then you can find out where you should place the file. Then when you place that file there, then you can start up Terraria, and then you can try it. Then you can try if the world actually works. It worked when I took it out. Let me say so much. But that's actually it. That's what I want to show you. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great evening, and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.